Gavin Wright. I'm a product design student here at the College for Creative Studies in Detroit, Michigan, and I'm graduating this year, May 2018. I wanted to make this video to show some of my physical products and prototypes I've made because it's something that's hard to express in a print portfolio. Done metal casting with objects such as this bronze peacock. And also I've done some sewing in terms of these moccasins. So this started out as a simple whip stitch moccasin, and that eventually evolved into like a more modern looking kind of shoe slipper. Bicycle messenger bag. So this one is interesting because it's actually made out of recycled roadwork sign that says work ahead. And so this was something I found after some construction teams had moved away from some street repairs, and I wanted to give it a second life as a bag. So it's got a reflector on it for bicycling, messenger bag top, laptop sleeve. One of the other materials I really enjoy working with here at CCS is wood, and I've done some basic furniture projects, but I also do a lot of projects on a laser cutter. I designed a few wood hangings, a planner. I made this as a present for my brother, but this one's for me with my logo. And it has a curved seam and a magnetic clasp on the front. Inside, you've got your notepad and your planner, and they're both easy to rip off, so that you're always on the front page. So you have your ball, place it in the front of the maze, and then you try and navigate around, and the ball will come out the bottom when you're done. Here we go. So for this next project, I was at IKEA, and I bought a few plants for my house. They're little succulents, but they came in these terrible plastic pots. This is capsule. It's a really minimal planter designed to be able to fit into any apartment or space. Each of the pots is individually removable. Got drainage holes on the bottom. The attachment system is just 2 carriage bolts. They're quite easy to mount in the wall with wall anchors and a screw and a drill. So all you have to do is just take this off these T-slots right here, allow the planter to easily go right over. And then in the back, we've got an open air spot so that if you overwater and water ends up leaking out the drainage holes in the bottom of the pots, it can easily evaporate. So if you put a bit too much water in, you can see that extra water is collecting in the bottom. So this next project was a redesign of the traditional TI-84 calculator that most students use in schools. Really nice and bold for easy operations. More interesting form. You've got the button still facing upwards, but the screen slightly more tilted. So you get a little more ergonomic view, and you don't have to keep turning the calculator or picking it up. And then a simple 2-part snap-together construction. The back will hold batteries, screen, keys, etc. Scientific replacement. You've got all the core numbers in the center. The modifier keys on the right and top, along with the directional control pad. The C and delete buttons are well out of the way to prevent accidental presses. Down on the left, you've got answer and entry to recall your previous statements, along with more complicated trigonometric functions, variables, settings, and graphing. So it's just laid out in a much more functional, readable manner. This is a VIA. It's a planter table designed to help bring families together in the kitchen. Less and less families are eating together, and as a result, there's less time spent connecting with those other family members. So here's something you can do with them: a hydroponic system with just a nutrient solution that allows for really simple gardening and no rewatering or changing. Really simple aesthetic, angled legs, slight wings, continuous surface designed to fit into any dining room. Here's the model for the Aviga family table. Reveal the construction. It's just a sandwich method. So here's the base, and here's the thermoform tabletop. So we can take this out, and we can see beneath that, that's where you would pour in the water and nutrient solution for the plants. And then each of these pots you can actually take off individually if the plant wasn't doing well, or if you need to replant. Here's my board for the Alto tiny house. You can see up here the problem is essentially that tiny houses are very small, and sometimes that space can feel cramped, And especially the lack of light can lead to problems like seasonal affective disorder and just general, kind of cabin fever. My solution was to have a very large kind of indoor/outdoor area. So it's enclosed in glass, but it's basically open on all sides at the same time to all that light that's coming through. Evening, you can have the heatsink or like some sort of concrete floor that captures heat during the day, re-radiated out at night. So it can be an entirely passive system. Starting out here in the front, you can see it's got polycarbonate or a glass window construction, allowing you to see out and also get a lot of light into this interior space, making this tiny house seem larger. You can do outdoor activities such as gardening in the bottom, or you can take these planters out and use them for other leisure things like seating. Heading upstairs, there's a large railing with a built-in table, allowing you to dine with a view looking out into your backyard, the sun, the lake, whatever it is. There's also a barbecue here, which is vented to the outside to prevent from filling up this interior area with smoke. Behind you in the top, you've got a bedroom area, and then downstairs you have a living room and kitchen. The outside is just corrugated steel panels to be very weatherproof. So finally, here's a sneak peek of the current project I'm working on. It's for Zenith. Some lattice techniques. I've been thinking about 3D printing these pads, these crazy octagonal shapes. X lattice is supposed to be the strongest, so these are all just 3D print samples I ran off. And then to test the idea, you could actually 3D print pad after taking pictures of the arm and modeling it, and then modeling the pad off the arm to get a custom fit. Here's the pad I've done. There's the fit on the arm. So you get extremely good ventilation. You also get these natural curves that are formed to the athlete's own custom arm. And you can have something like this pour-on material or some other foam. Those also vented could line the inside of this pad.